We start off with the big story of the day, and that would be Tesla. The stock tanking today after Elon Musk's bombshell interview with the New York Times. It's now fallen 20% from the funding secured high of last week. For more on this developing story, we go straight to Phil LeBeau in Chicago. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Melissa, a lot of news in this interview that Elon Musk did over the course of an hour with the New York Times. And I know you're going to be talking with Kate Kelly in just a little bit. But let's talk about a couple of things that stand out. First of all, with regards to the tweet that started all of this last week and the price target of $420, had a lot of people speculating over the last week. Was Elon Musk smoking dope when he put this out? Because 420 is, it's used within the different realms of discussing marijuana use. With regard to that, Elon Musk wrote, the 420 price seemed like better karma at 420 than at $419. But I was not on weed, to be clear. Weed is not helpful for productivity. That was one topic that he touched on during that interview. What's the week ahead for Tesla, Musk, and the board of directors? Let's start first off with New York Times believes that Musk and the board of directors will likely meet with the SEC perhaps as soon as next week, though there's not a firm date that we've been able to learn at this point. Will the board of directors take action? And will Elon Musk potentially take a leave of absence? Jim Cramer, after reading the article today, tweeted this out. Devastating New York Times piece filled with new facts. We know that the safest thing for Musk right now is a medical leave. I would insist on it. So who might replace Elon Musk? During the interview, he made this comment regarding a potential CEO replacement at Tesla. By the way, he's not planning on leaving, but he did say, if you have anyone who can do a better job, please let me know. They can have the job. Is there someone who can do the job better? A lot of news in that interview. A busy week for Tesla and for Elon Musk. Guys, back to you.
And in the meantime, Phil, in terms of the actual fundamentals of the company, we live in a vacuum, correct? For a couple of months at least.
We do, although I should point out there have been a couple of analysts who have put out notes saying, look, we've been out to that plant out in Fremont within the last, few weeks, and it looks like they are sustaining production above 5,000 Model 3s per week. That news completely overshadowed because of what's happened in the last week.
Yep. Phil, thanks. Phil LeBeau in Chicago. And this has been such a wild ride for Tesla with so many twists and turns. We created a new segment, Tesla in Turmoil. It is the place where mindless tweets and ill-conceived interviews wreak havoc on shareholders. The question now for you is, will the turmoil claim CEO Elon Musk's job? BK.
So the answer is what your lawyers will tell you. It depends. But BK's not going to charge you $1,500 for that. I'll tell you why it depends. I don't think he loses his job because he's the visionary founder of this company. And this is very common in Silicon Valley, where you have a visionary founder who at some point cannot operate the business. Happened with Facebook. They brought in Sheryl Sandberg. So if they can find somebody as a chief operating officer that can run this company and Elon can still be the visionary, then I think you're okay in this situation. If nobody wants to touch it, then you've got a problem. But you have to have Elon Musk there. Not even that it has a valuation, but the reason why the stock has this price is because of Elon Musk.
Let's say that this is the route the board chooses. Who is going to step in as the number 2 to Elon Musk?
Nobody.
Really?
He just said it very clearly on the TV show, on this interview. There's nobody out there that can fill his shoes. I think that's actually very reckless. There's nobody out there that could fill his shoes. If there's anybody out there, please let me know.
No, he didn't say that.
He absolutely did.
He said, is there anybody who can do the production job better, not fill his shoes?
Listen, guys,
there's plenty of people out there that can do the production job better.
There's a really good example in the last 6 years. In the lead up to Steve Jobs' untimely death,
Yeah.
a lot of people thought when he was not with this company anymore, it was going to be a real problem. He had been grooming, and this is actually shows a glaring difference between what's going on in Tesla. They'd been grooming Tim Cook. He was the supply chain guy. He was the guy that basically went from, making 10 million iPods a quarter to 100 million to hundreds of millions of iPhones. So, to me, there is, some precedence for this. I think it's also to remember whether or not he needs to be there and who's going to stick up for him. Guys, we just saw this with Travis Kalanick at Uber.
Yeah.
This is a company that its valuation was at $69 billion when he got booted.
That's right.
Yeah,
and look, it's not as though they're not doing anything. They are making Teslas. And, granted, he set himself up for failure. He has been overpromising and under-delivering, but he has actually been delivering something, right? And so that's worth it. And at the right price, someone's going to step in there.
I agree. I think somebody
look,
is, and I think he's very different than Uber.
The investor base of this company is buying the stock mostly for him, right? Period, end of story. I mean, look, they believe in him. He's the visionary. He's the Steve Jobs.
But if somebody came in who could operate it, it would be much better.
That's the question mark. But here's the reality. The reality is this SEC sort of look into this is going to last for a very long time. We know that. I've dealt with the SEC before. They know exactly how to handle situations in a way. No, I mean it. And they're going to look at things, and this is too big of a case to actually go in and turn a blind eye to. They're going to make sure they don't overturn anything.
Whether or not Elon Musk operates the company, whether or not the question now for investors is Elon Musk now more of an asset or a liability to this stock? In other words, 2 months ago, we said, Elon Musk is going to take a step back. He's going to be chairman. They're going to find a new CEO. How would we have said the stock would have traded? Probably lower.
Probably lower if he didn't have this meltdown. But now that he's had this meltdown.
The situation, now how will the stock trade? That's the question.
I think they bring in, Elon Musk takes a medical leave and they bring in an operator. I actually think the stock trades up.
Yeah, but I just don't think they have their finger on somebody that can come in and do it so quickly. He needs to take a leave right now, it seems like, especially when you read the contents of that interview. He's stressed. He's exhausted. His friends and family are worried about him. The board is looking at the situation. They've been coddling him now for years, but there's nobody in there to take over. I think it would be the worst thing for the shorts if you had somebody, a guy or a gal, who came in and had presided over a massive manufacturing...
Like a former CEO of a Boeing or a big manufacturing company.
A big short squeeze.
The shorts are all over this thing right now. Investment banks or hedge funds that essentially have never looked at this or really pressed this as a short in their portfolio are in it now. They're in it and they're going to get bigger and they're staying in it. There's an expectation on the street with a lot of funds, global, international hedge funds that basically are saying that this thing could be a zero shot. And they're being aggressive on that, but this could be a $50 stock if Elon Musk gets pushed out the door.
There are just as many people who are betting on the long side. I mean, you got the Fidelities, the T. Rowe, the Vanguards, the Pick. I mean, you name it.
And their frustration with Elon Musk and his behavior and the way he's going after it is evident. It's been talked about. It's been very clearly articulated. In general, in my opinion, and I'd say this, I think it's a funding issue. He's not going to get funding. He's going to have a convert due. He's not going to have the capital for that. It's going to become a spiraling effect. And the board of directors has a responsibility here to protect their own butts.
Right, so if they have a responsibility, they bring somebody in to do that and fix the company, and the shorts get squeezed.
I agree with BK. I think if they can get someone in who can come in as an operator, there is value here. What they have done has value.